You have to know how to identify fish, correct?
On a fall day in Farmington, Minnesota Department of Natural Resources fisheries biologist TJ Debates discusses fish populations with science students from Lakeville South High School, which is in the Vermilion River watershed.
The presence or absence of fish in a stream will tell you a lot about the water quality that they live in the watershed, what's happening in the watershed. Fish just don't show up by us driving around with a stocking truck putting fish in. They need to understand that habitat is important. They need to understand that what they do on the land within that watershed is important.
The field trip is part of an environmental education program designed to connect kids with watersheds through hands-on learning.
Either in a watershed of a river or stream or a lake or a pond in our backyard, that we have to understand we need to protect that water.
This one is a little more robust.
On this part of the field trip, the students were learning about macroinvertebrates, insects and crustaceans that have no backbone and spend most or all of their lives in the river.
So as you're looking at these insects, you want to think about how they're able to get oxygen. They need oxygen too. So not only are habitats important, but also water quality is important.
They also went for a walk along the river to learn about its elements.
How can we figure out if this is an undercut bank? Why not? Lay down and look.
And I learned that the river, you have to keep it clean and like natural habitat and stuff like the vegetation, and not to call it weeds, to call it aquatic vegetation.
And they also learned how surrounding land use can affect the river itself.
It's not what's right next to the bank of a river or a stream, but what's happening a couple blocks away that's really impacting the quality of the water. In this case, we've got ball fields and buildings, so we've got pavement, runoff, we've got all sorts of potentially fertilizers or pesticides.
The trout in the classroom part of the watershed education program
We're going to talk about our fish eggs here.
came that winter as students raised trout from eggs. Students study fish biology and water chemistry. The program is run by the nonprofit conservation group Minnesota Trout Unlimited, with the help of volunteers, local donations, and a grant from the Minnesota Environment and Natural Resources Trust Fund.
Yeah, we did the ammonia every day.
Students learn firsthand how water quality affects fish and other life. Then in the spring, the students release their fish in the Vermilion River in Farmington.